Let's keep moving along here. We're going to loose games now. We've got Tiny Toon Adventures, Buster's Hidden Treasure. This is a great game. I used to play this as a kid. It's a very cool platformer. Reminds me a little bit of Sonic. It's a pretty great game, actually. I was a fan of the cartoon series, and as a kid, that game was actually a good licensed game. When you know there aren't too many. Maximum Carnage. This is a really great game. It's Spider-Man and Venom. And I used to be a really big comic fan, and I don't know why I said used to. I still am a big comic fan, and Spider-Man is basically one of my favorite superheroes, so that was a really awesome game for me as a kid. By the way, speaking about licensed games, I used to have Aladdin as well. I lent it to somebody at work a couple years ago. Didn't get it back. I don't know why I lent it to somebody. But Aladdin is really one of the best Genesis games. It's a really great licensed game. Recently, MN12 Bird did a review of it, if you guys watch him. But he basically reiterated everything I was thinking about as a kid. It's a great game. Super Street Fighter 2. This is a really awesome game. You get those extra characters. I wouldn't say it's better than Champion Edition. I'd say they're about equal, but they're really great games. WWF Raw. It's an alright wrestling game. Not really too amazing. I used to be actually a wrestling fan when I was a kid, but I got out of it pretty quick. It's just too much to... It's like watching a soap opera. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. It's actually a really good beat-em-up game. It's actually really fun. I was never a fan of Power Rangers though, so I don't know why I ever had the game, but it was a really fun game. This game actually isn't mine. This game is called Sagaya, and it's actually just a Darius game. If you guys know Darius, it's an arcade game where there's a lot of fish enemies. And I'm not sure why they call it Sagaya. I guess the localization or whatever you call it. But it's a really fun game. I don't actually know that it's a Darius game, but it's gotta be. There's a lot of fish enemies. I've never played another shooter with like that. Pretty cool game. I've borrowed it off my friend. Maybe I'll beat it. Streets of Rage 2. Really awesome game. Music is hands down the best music on the Genesis. Streets of Rage 1 and 2 have the best music by far. This is a really great beat 'em up. I think it's a good companion to Streets of Rage 1. Mortal Kombat. This game is alright, but actually the 32X version of Mortal Kombat 2 I have is better. It's really slow and choppy, and it doesn't handle it nearly as well as the arcade. Separation Anxiety. It's like the poor man's version of Maximum Carnage. You can play with 2 players, but the graphics are worse, and I don't really like the gameplay as much. It's very boring. The music is really bad too compared to the other one. Comic Zone, one of the best Genesis games that you can play. I'm a really big comic fan, so being inside of a comic book and playing a beat 'em up like that was just so awesome. Blew my mind as a kid. This really was one of the best games. I'm so pissed I lost the box and everything else, because I remember I definitely bought this game back when it came out. I hate losing stuff. I hate giving stuff out. Not anymore. When I was a kid, I used to trade games and everything, but I don't recommend it. I know I said this before. American Gladiators. This game is actually pretty fun, but the NES version of American Gladiators is more fun. I don't know if it was the same time period or not. X-Men 2. I used to have X-Men 1 as well. This is a really great beat 'em up. Really cool game. You get a lot of cool powers for all the X-Men, and of course I'm a big comic fan, so it's a big plus for me. Play an X-Men game. Eternal Champions. For me, this is a really crappy fighting game. I've seen some people saying they like it, but I think this game is crappy. I'm too Street Fighter. RBI Baseball 94. Probably won't play it, but you know, another sports title, which the Genesis is full of, and I'm surprised I don't have more of them. Streets of Rage. This is the loose copy. This is the one I had when I was a kid. Awesome game, of course, as always. This is the cartridge for the Menacer gun. There's that big light gun thing, kind of like the Super Scope for the Super Nintendo. I used to have that thing. It took 6 AAA batteries. I don't know what ended up happening to it. I'm actually not sorry, because this is the only game I played that used it, and it was a cumbersome piece of crap. And Art of Fighting, which is actually, they did a pretty good job porting the arcade game over. The arcade game is obviously much better graphics and sound. The sound in this is pretty muffled, but this is still a pretty cool game. It's a cool fighter. It's a different departure. SNK games compared to Capcom games is a big departure difference. Departure departure. It's always different. I don't know what I'm saying. Tennis. I used to play this game with a friend of mine as a kid, but kind of as a joke. We didn't really think it was an awesome game, but we did play it for a while. So there's got to be something to it. It's kind of fun. It's actually called tennis. It's called IMG International Tour Tennis. We just called it tennis because that's all you can really see on the cart there. And my 232X games. I've got Mortal Kombat 2, which actually this is a really good game. This is probably the best 32X game. I mean, I heard that there are some others, but this is actually a really good game. It kind of makes me want to get more 32X games to see if any of them can be as good. But they did a really good job. The graphics are good. The sound is good. It's much better than the Genesis version of Mortal Kombat 1 I have. And Star Wars Arcade, which is a piece of crap. I was never a fan of the old Star Wars arcade game. I like the new one. It's like 3D. You were going under the legs of those big walking guys in the snow world. I don't remember the names of all the Star Wars guys. I'm not a really big Star Wars nut. But I used to play that game back when I was a kid. That was a really cool game. That older one really wasn't as much fun to me, but maybe it would have been if I was a little older or something. But in any case, that's my Genesis Sega CD 32X collection. Sega Genesis was basically my main system of choice as a kid. My mom, long story short, had sold my Nintendo at a garage sale. I'm not sure why. I didn't give her any permission to do so. And I was stuck with just a Genesis. So I really tried to build up my collection, and I was a really big Genesis fan back as a kid. And I didn't even get the Super Nintendo. I just stuck straight Genesis all the way. And then it led up to, what was that, PlayStation, I think. But in any case, guys, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys on my next video. So guys, I filmed the whole video. I realized that I forgot to show you my one Sega CD game. I have two Sega CD games actually. One of them is this NHL game, and one of them is here, Sewer Shark. And that NHL game was a piece of crap. I don't know where it is right now. I don't feel like looking for it because it's not actually worth finding. But anyway guys, this is actually the end of the video, and I'll see you guys later.